Air Canada's strike deadline only hours away.
100% agree. I think that, any other job, that as soon as you're expected to be on duty, you start getting paid.
As many Canadians support the flight attendants. Celebrating 65 years of McMahon Stadium.
I don't know that Granddad knew that in 65 years the stadium would still be standing.
A venue that's hosted much more than football. And lights out for birds.
This time of year is even more important than spring migration because now we have Young of the Year.
How you can help them survive.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. The union representing Air Canada flight attendants has rejected binding arbitration, hoping to settle its labor dispute at the bargaining table. If an agreement isn't reached, all flights will be grounded Saturday. Stephanie Thomas joins us now from the airport. So, Stephanie, what's the latest impact to flights?
Ian, many domestic flights here from the Calgary International Airport are taking off smoothly, but I spoke with plenty of passengers who have a connection back east, whether that's Toronto or Montreal, and then they have a final destination that's perhaps international, and they are left scrambling. Perhaps they are looking for a new flight, or they're stuck here in Calgary a little bit longer. Now, at the Air Canada kiosk, it seems the airline is trying to get ahead of any fracas that might result from the labor disruption. They've got extra signage and an extra information stand as well. The Canadian Union of Public Employees, or CUPE's airline division, says wages are not keeping up with the rising costs of living, and it wants compensation for work-related duties before an aircraft is in flight. The union also commissioned a survey, and it found that Canadians are likely to sympathize with flight attendants at 59%, while 12% sympathize with the company and 30% are unsure where they stand. Nearly 9 in 10 Canadians believe that flight attendants should be paid for all work-related duties, not just time in motion. And some passengers I spoke with here today agree with that.
100% agree. I think that, any other job, that as soon as you're expected to be on duty, you start getting paid. And so I think that that's the biggest sticking point, is that, from what I understand, they don't get paid until they're in the air.
I absolutely support the flight attendants because I'm a former flight attendant with WestJet. So I agree 100%.
Now, Calgary-based airline WestJet says that it's prepared to respond by adding in additional staff, larger aircraft on key routes, and even adding in some extra flights to help handle what it expects will be an influx of passengers. It also tells me that it is going to aim to keep travel costs, low. However, one air passenger expert I spoke with says that it's likely that prices are going to increase. Ian.
Okay, Stephanie, thanks very much. The province says Alberta Health Services has reached a settlement for a new collective agreement with some healthcare workers. The offer includes a 12% general wage increase over 4 years. The union is recommending the tentative agreement to its members. Voting starts at the end of the month. The Health Sciences Association of Alberta represents around 29,000 healthcare professionals. Alberta teachers still don't have a deal with the province. In June, unionized teachers voted 95% in favor of a strike, and that triggered a 120-day countdown. The province and the teachers union continue to negotiate, with more meetings scheduled later this month. Alberta's premier says she's confused by her government's new expense policy. It no longer requires the premier, ministers, and political staffers to publicly share receipts for expenses exceeding $100.
The issue that the cabinet discussed was that there are a number of my ministers who go to the same hotels when they're frequenting different municipalities, and they just wanted the name of the hotel redacted, just in case people were tracking them down and following. That was what the policy was supposed to be. It turned out to be something quite different.
The new policy came into effect last Friday. Smith says she will be discussing it with her cabinet on Tuesday to figure out what happened and plan for a reversal. A Calgary pastor charged with voyeurism has been dismissed from his church rolls. Police allege Brad Dewar met women through the church and captured intimate photos and videos of them at his home without their consent. The 68-year-old is listed as the secretary of Victory Churches International and was the former dean of the Victory Bible College. At least 3 victims have been identified. Victory Churches of Canada says it immediately dismissed Dewar from any and all roles with the church. Police are releasing an AI image of a man found dead on the banks of the Bow River last year in hopes of finding his next of kin. Police say traditional methods for identifying the man have not worked, so they're hoping this AI-generated image will lead to someone recognizing him. The man's body was recovered in March of 2024, and he was wearing a pair of brown hiking boots with orange and black soles. He's believed to be between the ages of 55 and 70. Anyone with information about the man's identity is asked to contact police. The host committee for the North American Indigenous Games is blaming Tourism Calgary in part for the failure of the effort to bring the event to Calgary in 2027. Last week, the Games Council announced it was retracting Calgary's hosting rights, saying critical benchmarks were not met. The celebration of sport and culture was supposed to bring 5,000 athletes from across the continent to Calgary. Today, the local host society issued a statement saying it faced shifting requirements and unreasonable demands. It says Tourism Calgary withheld operational funding from the city of Calgary, leaving the society without needed resources. The society calls the actions a step backward for reconciliation in sport and culture. Tourism Calgary says the society did not meet key milestones and conditions, but did not give any specifics. Today marks 65 years since the opening Stampeders kickoff at McMahon Stadium, a venue at the heart of Calgary's sports scene. The stadium was built in just 103 days, thanks to a $300,000 investment by Calgary oilmen Frank and George McMahon. Over the years, McMahon Stadium also welcomed university, junior, and high school sports, and recently became home to the Wild FC professional women's soccer team. The facility is most famous for hosting the opening and closing ceremonies of the 1988 Olympics, the 1990 royal visit from Queen Elizabeth, and several high-profile rock concerts. The legacy means everything to the McMahon family.
I don't know that Granddad knew that in 65 years the stadium would still be standing. I think he'd be very proud and happy that it was, and I think he would want us to still enjoy it for what it is. And it's still doing what it was supposed to do, which was bringing people together.
Getting the stadium in there, being able to generate more revenue, and all the other things that went along with it really helped the team. The fact that it is still here is a great testimony to how well it was built.
Talks continue over one day replacing or demolishing the structure. Renovations and concourse upgrades have been done recently to make McMahon Stadium better for next year's Grey Cup game.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, get the Grey Cup next year. Okay, lots of clouds today, I thought, but they will clear away by the end of the weekend?
By late Saturday.
Late Saturday.
So by the supper hours, you'll notice a difference. We have a good weekend in store. It's not going to be extremely hot. It's not going to be really cold. We're not looking at a ton of rainfall. We're just, it will be cloudy for much of tomorrow, and then that will start to clear out. 21 degrees is the temperature right now. If you work outside, that's pretty ideal, I'd say. We do have, as you can see, stuff tracking in from the west. Some rain, but the mountains will keep most of that off to the west. Some clouds, though, will continue to creep in over the next, I'd say, 12 to 18 hours. So here is your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit fifthAvVW.com. All right, for tomorrow morning, we'll kick off the day at 16. We'll still have a good amount of cloud cover out there, but later in the afternoon, those clouds will start to filter out. You'll see the sunshine peeking through, and it should be just enough to get us to 25 degrees for our daytime high, which is pretty much where we should be for this time of year. Your full weekend forecast coming up, Ian.
Thank you, Danielle. To you, it's another light on in the house. To a bird, could be deadly. Next, the campaign to encourage people to keep their lights off overnight. And the bike tour, raising awareness of Parkinson's disease, that will go through all 10 provinces. And if you haven't used it, please text us at 10400. Breaking Breaking news from Alaska. U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have wrapped up their summit, but there's no peace agreement. This is the first time the Russian president has been on American soil since his invasion of Ukraine. Trump and Putin met behind closed doors for a discussion that lasted 2.5 hours. In a news conference, they said the meeting was productive. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was not invited to the summit. Here at home, conservationists are asking Calgarians to switch off their lights overnight this fall to protect migrating bird species. Bird Friendly Calgary has launched its Lights Out for Birds campaign. It runs until Halloween. It's asking everyone inside the city and nearby to flip off their home lights each night from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. That will help millions of migratory birds differentiate between pass-through and obstacles, drastically cutting back the number of fatal window strikes.
This time of year is even more important than spring migration because now we have young of the year. So all of those babies that were born this year are traveling and migrating for the first time ever. They don't know the route, they've never done this before, and there's a lot of hazards that they can be drawn to on their first trips. It is the easiest thing in the world to do, just flip a switch, and it's going to make a huge difference.
Bird Friendly Calgary also recommends using window dots to help flyers in the daytime hours. More than 16 million birds die from window strikes every year in Canada. Okay, Danielle, one of the big events this weekend is Country Thunder. It's underway at the Confluence right now. Kind of cloudy to begin with, but as you mentioned, sunshine by the end of it.
Yeah, and no real active weather in the forecast, which is good news, right? So we will have a bit of a cloudy day once again for the most part tomorrow, but the sun will peek out later in the afternoon, and temperatures will actually be quite reasonable. We're not looking at really cold temperatures. We're not looking at excessively hot temperatures, kind of just that comfortable weather. 21 degrees is the temperature right now at the airport, 22 downtown, 19 over in Bragg Creek, and just above 20 in Irricana and Strathmore. Get your daily dose of greens at Serenity Golf Club, just 20 minutes east of Calgary. And yeah, it's a golfing weekend for sure. Winds will be calm in Calgary. They'll be a little gustier further to the south, but in Calgary, we're looking at calm winds tomorrow, just some cloud cover. Very, very isolated, small chance of an isolated shower. Really not much to worry about at all. 16 degrees is the current temperature in Banff, and those mid-20s in through Lethbridge and Milk River, high 20s for Medicine Hat. Looking at the radar satellite imagery, we've kind of have this wave that's moved out. We're on a break right now. We just have some cloud cover out there. And while it looks like a lot of moisture is tracking our way, the mountains are going to hold a lot of this off onto the BC side. And we'll certainly get the cloud cover filter through over the next 12 to 18 hours. But it doesn't look like we're going to see much moisture from this in southern Alberta. So I'm going to fast forward this for the rest of today. Just some clouds building in. We may see a sprinkle tonight, overnight, while you're sleeping, 2 a.m. Maybe you're sleeping at 2 a.m. Mainly cloudy skies, though, to kick off the day in the city, and then that will start to clear out basically after 4 in the afternoon. It should be mainly sunny by that point, and we'll hold on to the sunshine for all of Sunday and early next week as well. So when you look at your 5-day forecast here, 25 degrees for tomorrow, mainly cloudy, clouds clearing out after 4, and then we got a whole lot of sunshine Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with daytime highs in those mid to high 20s. So that's some really good news for us. I want to show you the 10-day trend here just to give you an indication. This is basically a longer stretch of sunshine and warmth. We haven't really seen a stretch like this in a while. So hopefully you can take advantage of it because we're looking at quiet weather really through the entire weekend for Monday and Tuesday. And then it looks like we may get a little bit of rainfall by the time we get into Wednesday of next week.
There are now 107 probable cases of E. coli connected to the Saskatoon farm near Okotoks. That's 39 more than last week. People who ate or drank at the Saskatoon farm between July 1st and the 18th may have been exposed to E. coli. The farm says it's installing a new water system, which will be inspected by Alberta Health Services. The restaurant and bakery remain closed, but other areas are open. AHS says 4 people were hospitalized and 1 person Parkinson remains in hospital. After a week-long water quality advisory, Cove Beach has reopened in Chestermere Lake. The area was closed by Alberta Health Services because of high fecal bacteria levels. AHS says recent testing shows the health risk is low, so the beach has reopened. A group of Canadian cyclists are riding across 10 provinces and to 3 coasts to raise awareness of Parkinson's disease. The Spinning Wheels Tour is a 2-month cross-country bike ride that will see riders travel through the prairies and up to Churchill, Manitoba. 12 cyclists set out from Calgary this week, almost 2 weeks after they left Victoria. Their goal is to raise $200,000 for Parkinson's research and community support.
It's amazing. It's something I didn't really expect. And then my first day, a couple stopped us, asked us a question. They started to walk away, and the guy came back. It turned out his father had Parkinson's. He opened up. The floodgates kind of opened. And I realized that that's what the ride's about. It's about the people we meet.
Parkinson's, an incurable neurological disease, affects about 110,000 Canadians. To learn more about the ride, visit our website, CTV News. ctvnews.ca/Calgary. Calgary author is telling a deeply personal story in her debut novel. Just ahead, the traumatic wartime experience at the center of The Resistance Daughter. Markets in North America wrap up the week on a high note. Joining me is Dave Popowich, Portfolio Manager with the Popowich-Karmali Advisory Group. And Dave, inflation numbers are presenting a mixed picture for investors.
Yeah, hi, Ian. I think that's exactly right. We certainly couldn't talk about the week that just passed without talking about inflation. But to your point, when you look on a weekly basis, the North American major indexes all ended in positive territory. Having said that, let's talk about the consumer price index information, the inflation at a consumer level in the United States, because it came in surprisingly low. So the headline year-over-year number at 2.7% was below what the market was expecting, and that actually sparked a pretty strong rally on Tuesday. Now, your comment about a mixed picture really presented itself on Thursday because we got a look at the wholesale inflation data, what's called the producer price index, and this told a very different story. The month-over-month expectation was that inflation was going to be up at a wholesale level by 0.2%, and it went up by 0.9%. When I put that into year-over-year terms, the expectation was wholesale inflation running at 2.5%, and it came in at 3.3%. And markets did have a bit of trouble interpreting that, but on balance, the end of the week, still a positive week. Now, the implication of this for investors is what is the U.S. Fed going to do at its next interest rate decision? And the expectation is still that they're going to cut rates, although it's not as high a probability as it was prior to that Thursday inflation data.
Dave, thanks for the update. Have a great weekend.
You too, Ian. Bye-bye.
The housing market in Calgary is starting to open up with more homes up for sale. The Calgary Real Estate Board says there were more than 3,900 new listings on the market last month. That's up nearly 9% from the same time last year. Sales declined 11% in July. As more homes come on the market, prices are starting to decline. The residential benchmark price in Calgary last month was $522,000, down 3.9% from the year before. The steepest price drops are in apartments and row-style homes. The Air Canada strike deadline is quickly approaching. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. If a deal isn't reached soon, all Air Canada flights will be grounded by tomorrow. Coming up at 6, we'll have the latest on negotiations. Plus, the passenger rights advocate explains why travelers shouldn't accept Air Canada's full refund offer. Also ahead, McMahon Stadium is celebrating its 65th anniversary. Coming up, the Calgary Stampeders official historian shares his memories. Ian.
Thanks, Tara. The Second World War comes to life in The Resistance Daughter, the debut novel from local author Joanne Cormilo. The book is informed by Cormilo's father's experience as a bomber pilot and prisoner of war. Joining me is Joanne Cormilo. Thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
So when you read your father's wartime log from the Second World War, at what point did you realize this is terrific fodder for a book?
Well, interestingly enough, enough, I always had it in my mind from being a small child that one day he would tell me about it and I would actually write a book. But he never told me. So I grew up with a father who had been a bomber pilot and a POW, and his experiences formed a large part of my upbringing. But he didn't talk about it. It was very difficult.
You really did your research on this. You traveled to the UK, to Germany, to Poland. Why was it so important to dive so deep on this subject?
Because my father died at 62, and I wanted to understand him. Like I said, try not to get emotional here, but it formed a very large part of my life because in hindsight, he did have PTSD, which no one recognized in those days. He was a wonderful, wonderful man, but I did it too because I wanted to understand him.
And Joanne Cormilo is the author of The Resistance Daughter. To see my extended interview with her, visit ctvnews.ca/Calgary. At this time of year, you really want to embrace those summer weekends. Right now in the city, it is 21 degrees with warmer weather to come by Saturday and Sunday. Danielle has the details coming up. I mentioned earlier the need to embrace those weekends. Once you have really nice weather, you just want to soak it all in, right?
Now, Albertans, we do it best.
We do.
I would say. Okay, yeah, embrace this. 21 degrees. Yes, we have some cloud cover, but it's stable. The sun's peeking out here and there. When we look at those next 3 days, it's going to get more stable, which means brighter and brighter and warmer. So mid-20s, 25 degrees for tomorrow. Mostly cloudy for much of the day, but later in the day, by about 4, you'll notice mainly sunny skies, and that sunshine will continue Sunday through Monday and will carry up to 26 degrees. Happy weekend, Ian.
Indeed. Thanks very much. The early morning rain cleared, and it turned out to be a nice afternoon for a round of golf in Water Valley. The Veteran Hunters, a non-profit organization that provides peer support and therapy to veterans, active duty members, and first responders, hosted a golf tournament fundraiser. The program helps those managing post-traumatic stress disorder and other mental health issues by spending time outdoors on peer-led adventures like hunting and fishing trips.
So we use the hunting or fishing, it really is the hook to get our brothers and sisters connected with us in outdoor settings. And as a veteran brother of mine once said, the healing begins in the truck. So driving out to the ranch is where the healing really begins, where we start to talk.
For more information about Veteran Hunters or to donate to the organization, visit theveteranhunters.com. Thanks very much for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.